Scrum Master, what can you do to ensure that your sprint planning are effective? Hello, welcome to the Scrum chat room with Dr. Francis Mbunya. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you are a returning viewer, do share, ask a question, and leave a comment. Then what we do is making sure we're keeping everything very simple. Trust me, Scrum is very simple if you can understand the basics. And what I'm going to do with this question is going to show you how you can really simplify things in a way that they are not implicating you. One of the things I've noticed after talking to several people that are in the job market is the fact that they are overcomplicating themselves. From their resume to the way they talk and everything is complicated. But then that is one of the reasons why we are keeping everything simple. Before we go into our question, a couple of stuff to note. If you are in the journey and looking for a practical environment to gain some hands-on experience, you can reach out to me and my team or check the link below. You're going to see a description on what it takes to be part of my coaching circle. Now, if you want to be Safe Scrum Master certified, we do offer that as well. If you are in the job and you're struggling how to scale through those couple of months, we also have a strong supporting system that's going to give you the hand-on tools you need to scale through that first 90 days in a job and become a professional. Quite a lot of people are kind of losing it within the first 90 days. But you don't really have to. If you actually were able to defend the interview, you should be able to go through the 90 days. If you're looking for support now, you can reach out. Okay, let's go into the question. What can you do, or how do you ensure your sprint meetings are very effective? All right. If I were responding to this question in an interview, the first thing I would do is that I would have a conversation with the interviewer. Right? The mistake a lot of people do is that they try to teach the interviewer. Before I answer the question, let me do a bit of explanation here. Imagine you're a banker, or you're an accountant, and you're talking with your fellow accountant. How will you talk with that fellow accountant? Will you start going to tell them what is balance and check and explaining all the details? No, you just talk about it. The same way I'm going to respond to this question, I'm just going to talk about it. All right. In order for me to ensure that my spring meetings or my spring events, spring planning events are effective, the first thing I want to do is that I want to make sure that before the event, I'm double checking with my product owner and with my team to make sure that the backlog is intact. And of course, this always happens because we do regular spring grooming or regular backlog grooming meetings. Okay, now when it's in start, what happened is that I also double check with my team to see who is taking a vacation, who is available, in order to understand my capacity. That also helped me define my velocity. During the day of the spring, we go through the backlog based on the prioritization that has happened before the day. And based on our velocity and our capacity, we simply go through each story one after another, ensuring that everyone is participating and is contributing to the process and that they understand clearly what they need to do. If there's any need for the clarification, the product owner is always there to answer all the technical questions. My hero as the Scrum Master is to ensure that participation is fair enough, everyone is engaging, and also to ensure that everyone contributes towards the final goal. When we have our full capacity, we get everyone to commit to the sprint goal, and then we start our sprint. All right, how simple was that? Very simple. Now, this is something you should not do, which what a lot of people are doing. And that's why I'm advising you, this is something you should not do. You should not go into so much detail. When you go into so much detail, what are you doing? You're trying to prove your work. You're trying to impress. And guess what? You're struggling to be a Scrum Master and you're trying to impress an Agile coach. Most of the people in the team have been practicing that. Immediately you make any mistake, you can see that. Now, let me kind of dip into another approach, right? Let's say that I wanted to answer this question and I said, okay, what I would do is that on the first day of my, the day of my sprint planning, I make sure that I talk to my team, I see who is taking in absent or not. Then when we're going through the backlog, we use the Fibonacci sequence, we go through all the numbers, and after we go through all the numbers, I open my poker planning board, make sure that everyone is taking in. That is an amateur way of answering questions. Because as you see yourself really struggling to bring all of this in. But when you have a higher level conversation over it, it makes the interviewer understand that you know what you're saying. The question is, how do you get to a point where you can know what is high level and is effective? It's about practicing, being in a real environment. Now, this is take home for you. This is take home for you. If you can do this, to be very sincere, if you can do this, you are going to reduce the number of interviews that will take you to your job. The first thing everyone that is trying to become a Scrum Master should master is master all the events from start to end in such a way that you can teach somebody. How will you run a sprint planning? Have an agenda, a step by step. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and this happened. The same for all the events. If you can do that, have that handy, and study that more detailedly and effectively, you need probably just about 1 or 2 coaching sessions for someone to show you what a practical environment really needs. You're good to go. But I also do understand that not everybody is that smart, right? Some people need some time to see the reality, to go through, sit down with them, mentor them, tell them why this to be this, why this to be this. If you're that kind of person, then you need to go extra mile. You need to be able to invest what you want out of your journey as a Scrum Master. You want to join my team? Again, check on the description bar. You can see my email. You can see my number, maybe. You can see it somewhere. You can reach out and with a text, please don't call. We'll be able to get back to you and tell you what are the possible next steps. All right. Keep pushing forward. There is no turning back. All right. If you treat the journey as a Scrum Master as an option, you're going to back out soon. But if you invest some value in it, that job is just next. Your dog. There is no need to doubt about that. Why am I so confident about the fact that if you invest in your journey, you're going to get it? This is the reason. Scrum has just been in existence for about 2 decades and it's producing this impact. And there's so much value that is creating that. That's why a lot of companies are now switching to it. So you coming in at this point, it's like within the first 2 decades, you're there. Just imagine what's going to happen within the next 3-4 decades, and you're there within 10 years. So much for you not to give up. I'll see you in the next video.